Gayatri. So, what is the way of living this? Okay. It doesn't change drastically. Many people have a lot of glamorized concept of enlightenment. The concept of enlightenment comes from mostly anecdotes, hearing something, reading some spiritual stories. Okay, the consciousness is a spectrum. There are many things. It's not a black and white. It's not yes and no. There's many things happen. So many stories people write thinking that's enlightenment. So that will confuse the person, and they have certain expectation thinking about that. So there are conditionings. So if you are able to come out of that, then what you see, a person who has come out of that, he sees himself, reals himself, which is free from everything. Now he has a body, mind, vehicle is there. Because vehicle doesn't die. It has its own lifetime, right? I mean, I can give example, a car. So somebody is a car. He was so passionate for car, he identifies the car. I am the car. Oh, wherever I go, I am running. I'm driving. I'm driving. Okay, he becomes one with the car. Then he meets some accident and then says, oh my God, I'm addicted to car and I'll come out. Okay. So then he understands. He is fine. He's safe. Then he says, okay, I can use this car. I should not use it very in a bad way. Try to use the car in a decent way, whatever is required. Like that, an enlightened being can live in a way he can do loka kalyana. Some enlightened beings can withdraw, nothing to do. Some enlightened beings say, see all around mess is there. Different kind of, and the mess is coming only because of a drop in human consciousness. Human consciousness is living subconsciously and programs. The hurt, the damage to environment. All these things is unconscious living. Okay. So now, there's so many problems in the world. The world will always have problems. But many of the problems are created by the mind. Okay. Hatred, jealousy, okay, and destruction of the environment, damage. So many of these problems are visible in the world, right? So for people, there are people who live in the mental world. They think, oh, there are problems in the world. Only solution is revolution. Let us have revolt. Let us grab power. Then I'll do something. It's also part of the problem. Nothing will happen because the changes have to happen at the very fundamental level. They cannot happen at the surface level. Surface level of consciousness or conscious mind is only 5%. 95% mind is already full of concepts and programs which are running from society. It's a collective consciousness program coming from generation to generation. So, real root of the problem, solving the problem for the society is to work at the consciousness level. Okay. Now, many times what will happen, this working at the consciousness level is associated with some religion, some religious master, some cult. So people don't have a clarity of what the hell is happening. Okay. So the person who is enlightened, really enlightened, he understands the problem very clearly. And he will try to solve the problem at the root level, not at the surface level. Root level is the consciousness shift has to happen. And it is individual, it's not a collective. The shift in the consciousness has to happen at a deeper level within a human being for human beings to be peaceful. So basically, he sees so much of restlessness is there with human beings. Human beings are suffering. And then that's affecting the world, that's affecting the society, that's affecting the environment. We are not living in a harmony with anything. This is what he sees once he is enlightened. Now, he will not give superficial solution. Superficial, be like, be good, do like this. They're all superficial. It's set more at a conscious mind, at a very superficial understanding level. So he may or may not. He may say, anyway, the world is there. I don't have a role to play. I'll go back. I'll sit quietly. Maybe impose it. But even if then sit quietly, what will happen? People get attracted to them. And when those people who come, he will give a clarity about what exactly is the problem. Then they'll come out. It's like Ramana Maharshi. It is not that Ramana Maharshi went all around the world and did a campaign. You have to improve your consciousness. Instead, he sat silently, and that silence attracted people. And when those people who came were qualified people, they are seeking and they understand there is a solution. For them, Ramana Maharshi's solution quickly worked. Self-enquiry. Right? For those who are not seeking, you cannot give a solution. Right? So that's the problem. Now he sees the problem. Now he can give a solution in his own way, like Ramana Maharshi. My guru is Ajja. What he used to do, he used to conduct a small, he's not very well educated. He's not a scholar also. He used to conduct small programs where people will come. And those who come, he'll try to help them reduce suffering. By not at superficial level, not at the counseling level, but at the deeper consciousness level. Shift in the consciousness has to happen. If the shift in the consciousness doesn't happen, there's no solution. So how to shift in the consciousness happen? It's a challenge. It depends on the ability of the teaching, skill of the teacher, and faith of the people who come there. So many things are, many factors, right? So that's where he tries. He focuses on, when he works on the shift in the consciousness. Mostly for the people who are seeking, it doesn't go and promote that because it doesn't work. Promotion doesn't work because people are at the mind level. Those who are only asking for a solution at the deeper level can be helped. So, for example, the day is actually 2 days back. One of my relatives came to my house. He is about 25-year-old. He is working in a top MNC here. He has not come to my house for 25 years. Because he is studying and all that, right? So he comes here for some occasion. Then, it's all what I'm saying is it's like a sort of a synchronicity or divine plan like that. Then he is working from home for the office. He gets a call, a fraud call, FedEx call. So I don't know whether you heard of FedEx call, right? So they give him all his details very clearly. Your Visa ID, Aadhaar card number, your so. So he fell for a trap. And then he went to a stage where he has to share the bank account. Suddenly he discovered it's a fact. What is that? Fraud. Almost 45 minutes, he is got into the trap. They asked for bank account details, he gave bank account details also. At that point, he woke up. My God, I'm in a fraud. Okay. Suddenly, he said, cut the call. But he is a well-educated person. Okay. Well-educated. He is very successful. And he himself in that multinational company is working for security of software. Such a person can be duped. And suddenly realized. Then all the corrections required, bank, calling the bank, and all happened. But a shift happened in him. That night he slept. Morning, he came for a walk with me, and then we sat for a breakfast. Anybody else would have constantly blamed the fraudster. So this guy said to me, I got dragged to that. My mind is the problem. He identified the problem. Okay. So then he asked me, how to come out of the stupid mind. Right? So he has identified the problem. For those people, consciousness shift will happen. Those people who have not identified mind as the problem and I want to come out of mind, it won't work. Okay? So the mind is, this guy's question was, how do I come out of the mind? And please understand, he has no religious background, no spiritual background, but he exactly got the problem. So this is actually what I call as divine providence. It's called synchronicity. And that too, if the fraud has happened somewhere else, he would not have got it. And he doesn't know I'm a guru. Please understand, he doesn't know I'm a guru. He doesn't know I'm a spiritual. He has heard I'm giving some talk, something. He shared it. Then I told him, okay, I'll tell you how to come out of the mind. And about half an hour, he had half an hour time in the office work, 20 minutes, I gave him what I call appetizer. So his mind was, he was so, of course, he's very smart and very intelligent to absorb what I said. But his shift has happened. It's not full shift, but already journey has started. So this is what an enlightened person do. Helping people to shift their consciousness, which is miserable and mess, into a more peaceful state. So once a consciousness of a person becomes peaceful, not only he benefits, the surrounding family and the world also benefits. Like hatred spreads, like anger spreads, like corruption spreads, there's a possibility of harmony and peace spreading. That's what a role a person who is fully enlightened may play or may not play also. Okay. So the may play and may not play, the difference is here. The consciousness person, he himself doesn't go by any desire. I will do this. I'll transform the world. He doesn't go because he's a program. why bother? Right? But as a part of the program, some people come to him. Right? And so, these are people who have come as a part of the program. Let me help them. Like that, it starts. Okay. That's where it grows. But what happens is that the consciousness shift is very subtle. It's not like an explosion. Individually, it may be explosion, but it's very subtle. Very subtle. So that subtle movement he starts with the people who come in contact with him. Now I'm speaking of a genuinely enlightened person. There are very fake enlightened persons also. Okay, this is genuine enlightenment. There are many people who think they are enlightened. There's a fake enlightenment. That's a different category. Genuine enlightenment is very rare. So basically, he works on the consciousness of the people who have come to him. So bring more peace in life and family. So what happened? The country that this actually was very prevalent in India. It was very, what I call, India was a spiritual land. Okay? Because the education about consciousness was widely available. Okay? And that's where our Gurukulas played a role. The big role played by Gurukulas. Gurukula's role is at the very young age, you imbibe deeper understanding of consciousness. As you age, you cannot learn that. At a very young age, when the mind is fresh, you will learn about consciousness. That's what the role of Gurukula. So that's why a person who joined a Gurukula is called Brahmachari. Brahmachari is not about celibacy. Brahmachari is, he has joined there to understand about Brahman, reality. Okay. So now there was a schooling system which is able to consistently provide enlightened beings. That's possible only at a younger age. Now, most of the people now to come to spirituality, they're already in middle age or late middle age. Their concepts have ripened. So the Guru has a challenge of breaking them, which are very hardened concepts. Whereas in a young mind, okay, if they understand, there's a deeper transformation. And the transformation happens at the deeper, younger level. And these people go into job, everywhere, they spread that consciousness easily. Okay, that was what is happening. We had a very good schooling system of education for consciousness. Of course, they learned martial art. Of course, they learned astrology, astronomy, Ayurveda, everything that for living in the world. But primarily, education was brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is getting established in consciousness. Possibly they won't do. They won't get established fully because it requires some maturity. That's okay. But deep seeds are put at the young age. That was the schooling greatness of the schooling system. Everywhere in the world, they were in the dark ages. In India, we had much more evolved beings, enlightened beings. That's why our country was called Bharata. The meaning of Bha means wisdom. Rata means bliss. The whole country, by and large, blissful because of wisdom. The wisdom has to be imparted at young age. The old age, adult age is very difficult because adults have difficulty in learning something new and changing their track. And that's why our country was called Hindustan. Do you have idea what is Hindustan is about? The Sanskrit word for ocean is called Sindhu. Sindhu means ocean. Okay. Individuals are called Bindu. I'm a dot in the ocean. Sindhu is the ocean. I am a dot, point in the ocean. Bindu. India is a country of people where Bindu has become Sindhu. We have merged with the Sindhu. And living a higher consciousness, the country lives in a higher consciousness. That's why we are called Hindustan. Hindustan, not Hindustan. In the words, in the language of Persians, because our culture spread to Persia and many other countries. Many of the countries in the Middle East and all, Indian culture was deeply engrossed. Of course, the enlightenment and spirituality and it's like as you go far away, it'll be a little bit like a weaker. Their understanding becomes weaker. But India created powerful enlightened beings through a formal education system called Gurukula, where brahmacharya was the practice. That means inquiry into the reality of the nature, Brahman was practice. So if your schooling system is producing consistently the higher quality beings, of course, in the school, they may not be enlightened. Okay. Out of 100 children, 100 children will not be enlightened. But they'll imbibe values which are required for enlightenment. Maybe 1 or 2 persons get enlightened. But this value is spread in the society. That's why we were called Sindhustan. And Persians took Rigveda from us. It became Zandavesta for them. So those Persians, they're not able to pronounce S. They called us, our country, as Hindustans. Hindustan means Sindhustan, where Bindu has become Sindhu. Every individual being has become enlightened, by and large. Okay? Sindhustan became Hindustan, and people living in the country became Hindus. A Hindu means enlightened being. That's what happened. So the role of enlightened being is to shift and uplift the consciousness of the society, if he plays a role. If it doesn't play a role, it does not, then he'll run away from society. He may not have the skills and ability to play a role. Ultimately, the higher consciousness has to operate through the instrument. The instrument may not have the skills and ability. So that's where the higher consciousness, what we call as Ishvara or God, operating through the instrument, will work for Loka Kalyana, means shift in the consciousness of the world and establish Dharma. This is the role of an enlightened being. Is the answer clear? Any questions? I created an iLead program. So the iLead program I started is like an experimental lab. How consciousness can be shifted. And that too happens because students came to me as they are suffering. During the corona time, suffering became intense. They are suffering otherwise also. During corona time, they have time to understand their suffering. That's all difference. So parents came. So far, we put together a program called iLead. In the iLead program, many young kids, they beautifully flowered. So we had a experimental lab where consciousness can be shifted to some extent because it's all remote, online. It may not be done in a very big way. We did a small, or rather, a small size experiment where a shift in the consciousness happened in many children, right? And that gave me a lot of experience in understanding what's happening, how our Gurukula system function. Then also it gave me an idea how that has to get into education. Our education is messed up completely. There's no education of consciousness. So I felt there's a need to change the education system where consciousness evolution becomes a part of education system. And naturally, we cannot go to old Gurukula system where a lot of rituals and all this because modern society doesn't accept it. They don't understand. And many people, if you just go to Gurukula, they may not fit into modern society. So I was always focusing on education system, which is ultra modern, but rich in consciousness. And of course, I didn't have any, and for me, there's no what we call as motivation to go and change this world. If something comes to me as a part of prarabdha, I'll say, okay, as a part of divine plan, something has to come to me. Let me do something about it. Like that, I'll work, right? Otherwise, there's no what you call individual desire. This has to be done. Something even the lead children program also I'll put not because I went and searched children. Children came, and that's how this entire organization of Light of Self Foundation has gone. I have not grown it; it grew because the need for consciousness it comes in some form. So it so happened that one entrepreneur came. He is looking for a business idea, how to make it, and I had done some experiments with him on artificial intelligence for a spirituality. So that I said, okay, I thought this may be an opportunity to use artificial intelligence to bring our ancient Gurukula system in a very modern way. Children are not stuck to old values. Children are deep rooted in culture and spirituality. At the same time, well versed in modern technology or better than others in modern technology, we'll do. And that we experienced also. Some of our children succeeded also. We saw them flowering and we saw them succeeding in the career and education very well. So already some experience in the education was done. And I'll tell you, not intentionally. Oh, I will do something, I'll go and chant the world. No. It so happened. It happened. It came. Right? It so happened, I visited your school. I saw Purna Chetana, how these people are doing to Purna Chetana, full consciousness. That was my question. Then I saw, okay, there are some seeds and ideas are there to develop consciousness. The Purna Chetana word itself was triggered me. How are this Purna Chetana? Okay, nice word. Are they really telling it, or is it make some sense there? Okay, I came to a function. I realized, oh, it makes. And they are in some way they are trying. So then I felt, oh, this is so good. This has to be available to many people in whatever shape and form it is there. Then this person came for a business idea, which is also related to schooling. And I said, oh my God, okay, a time may have come where we can create an education system